Excerpts from ESPN senior writer Seth Wickersham's book, American Kings, a biography of the quarterback, has highlighted some of the struggles that Caleb Williams experienced in his rookie season. The book revealed Caleb's father, Carl Williams, did not want his son to be selected by the Bears because Chicago was, quote, where quarterbacks go to die. New head coach Ben Johnson was asked about it yesterday.
I love it. I love it. I love the opportunity to come on in and change that narrative. That's where great stories are written. And so we're looking to write a new chapter here, 2025 Chicago Bears, and looking forward to the future.
All right, so we're a glass half full kind of show. All right, so we're going to look at this rookie season. Caleb did do a good job of limiting turnovers, third best interception percentage, sixth best touchdown to interception ratio in the NFL. He also showed off his legs, seventh most rushing yards by a quarterback, but of course, the negative here. He did have the worst QBR, throwing 20 yards downfield and on third down. Plus, he took the most sacks, and we know that that's not all the fault of the offensive line, can also be the quarterback as well. How do you think, Mina, Ben Johnson can help him this season?
There's a lot of things he's got to improve at. Number one is just play faster. And to go back to your glass half full view, the games where he did play fast, he looked great. Think about Jacksonville, Green Bay, Minnesota, weeks 11 and 12. You saw that when he was getting rid of the ball quickly, he was accurate, decisive, and then special when he had to be. The problem was there were too many points in the season where it felt like he wasn't trusting what was in front of him, wasn't throwing with anticipation, wasn't throwing the ball over the middle of the field. So for Ben Johnson and the skill players, by the way, it's all about rebuilding that trust in the structure of the offense so that he can play on time. That means when you use motion to displace a second level defender so that Caleb knows, okay, if I rip it here, I have my right receiver has leverage. Or when he turns his back to the defense off of play action and then he turns around, the dig is going to uncover the way it so often did in Detroit. If they can build that around him and he can develop trust in it, that's where I think success is going to come from.
And it's so interesting, Mina, because as a head coach, Ben Johnson not only has to worry about all the things that you just talked about, but also how he addresses the media, the kinds of things he says at the mic. What did you make of what he said, Peter, about changing the narrative?
I think it's interesting. I think everyone looks at Ben Johnson when he was a Lions coordinator and sees this cerebral guy, maybe a brainiac, not a social guy, and maybe not the best emotional EQ just because we hadn't seen him. And in his first 9 months or 6 months with the Chicago Bears and the media, you hear guys on the actual Zoom call being like, I love this guy. He's talking, he's positive, and he's actually connecting with these players in a real way. Truth of the matter is, Seth's book is going to be a banger. It's going to be a bestseller, and it's going to reveal a lot of things about a lot of quarterbacks. But that's ancient history right now for the Chicago Bears. They've got an entirely new brass in there, whether it be the quarterback room or the coaching staff or a lot of the people who are going to be on the field with Ben Johnson, with Caleb Williams. I don't think they're losing sleep over what's written about something that happened 18 months ago.
Well, Peter, wasn't that one of the questions about Ben Johnson, right? How he would lead, how he would talk to people. And then they played the video of him walking into the Bears training facility for the very first time, and it looked like he was born for that moment. It looked like he was a natural at commanding the room. He was very different than I think a lot of people expected, and way different than the perception that existed of him on the outside world. And he's continued to act just like that, and he is the reason that the Bears are excited about this season, because they brought him in there to help turn Caleb Williams into the type of talent that he is. With the number 1 overall pick, they took him, and they believe Ben Johnson's capable of elevating his play. And if we look at the quarterback gurus that have been brought in across the league to work with quarterbacks, they've typically elevated their level of play. If he can do that, then the Bears finally could have a quarterback who could throw for 4,000 yards in a season. How many times have we heard about that? They've rebuilt the offensive line. They've added more weapons. They're doing everything they can, leading with hiring Ben Johnson, to elevate Caleb Williams and to make sure that he fulfills the potential that he had when they selected him with the number 1 overall pick.
Adam, I agree with that. I have the good fortune of working with Ben in Miami, and he believes in fundamentals. If you go back to where the Detroit Lions were 3 years ago when Dan Campbell and Ben all got there, they were 3-13-1, but what they started to do is not lose the game, make your opponent beat you. And when you're sacked 68 times, as Mina alluded to, it's really hard to win games. So I expect this team maybe not to be flashy, but have great fundamentals. I do think Caleb Williams will have his clock sped up, and I don't think it's a coincidence, Hannah, that their first pick was Colston Loveland, because I think you're going to see a lot of checkdowns to him. I think that's going to be a way for Caleb Williams to get rhythm and confidence in this offense. And I think 2025 is a foundational year, much the way Dan Campbell's first year was in Detroit.